So I have set up a quick example here to show you how scope works inside of Java, and we are not going to go very far into depth here, but I just want to give you an idea of how it looks in the code. So this declaration here is actually creating a variable that is scoped at the class level, as our class level, and don't worry about the syntax here. Just know that this is a variable, call it age, that is at the class level, and it's set to 50. And I have commented out some other lines here. And we can see that if we call this system out front line and see what the age is, we can see that it is set to 50, just like we had declared here. So this scope, even though we are inside this method, we have the class of the scope, the method level scope, and then we are calling this within the method. It is getting that 50. Now if I uncommented out this age that's declared inside this block, you can see that this is a new concept here for Java, which is a block. And we will get into this more when we get into conditionals. But basically, any set of statements in Java, any number of lines, can be grouped into a block and they will be executed as one statement. So anywhere where you can have one statement, you can have a block instead. A block has its own scope. If you remember from the diagram we looked at, this is inside of a method, it has a scope. So when I run this, what do you think is going to happen? Well, it's still going to grab the 50 because this variable is only going to be in scope. It's only really going to exist from the beginning of this block to the end of this block, which is almost no time at all. So by the time we get down here, it is already gone. And since this scope is more specific, it's an inner scope, we are not being able to access the variable from outside here. So if I run this, you can see it's just getting the 50 here. Now let's change this, let's uncomment this one, and this is in the method level scope. So now what do you think is going to happen? Well, in this case we are still going to be able to see this one inside here by the time that we get to the front line. But this other variable that's in scope in the method is going to basically hide this one because this variable is in scope. It's declared right here in the method. So when we run this, we should get 20. And you can see here we have got 20. Now let's try one more experiment here. Let's go ahead and move this front line instead of in here right into this block. So now it is in this small scope here. Now what do you think that is going to print? Well, let's look at what is visible from inside here. Actually, from inside this scope, if something was declared at the method level, we would have that visible, and at the class level, that's visible. But because we have something declared right in this block here, it is going to override or hide what is at the class or method level. And so we should just get 25. And that's really how scope works. It's not that complicated of a concept. Basically, variables live from within their scope, and they can always access or be accessed by a deeper level of scope by a deeper nesting.